Well, next up is the Pokemon Presents presentation that is happening this week on February 27th. This is not a surprise, but it has been officially recognized. And I know that, I don't know, these presentations are always, I don't want to say disappointing, because I now know not to be expect a lot. And I also don't, I'm not a huge Pokemon person, but there's often one big announcement, right? Do y'all expect to see anything about, I don't know, Pokemon Legends ZA here?
I think there'll be a new trailer. That's what I think, that there'll be a new trailer for ZA, maybe a date announcement here.
But arguably the first trailer for Legends ZA.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point.
Not a 3D blueprint that becomes the logo. Yeah,
actual gameplay of this game. I think the wild card prediction that everyone makes every single year is finally adding Pokemon games to NSO, but I just honestly don't think it's going to happen. And specifically, I don't think they would drop it at a Pokemon Presents, just based on the past years of like what they kind of put in this. It's more about like the community, or like the Pokemon Concierge show that came out, or I feel like we're going to see a lot of like trading card game Pocket at this one. Actually, I think they're probably going to announce like a new set.
Good call.
Stuff like that, because they usually focus more on the mobile stuff. So I don't really see that happening here. But yeah, definitely, I think the ZA trailer would be the big drop.
Man, RIP to the Pacific Coast YouTubers that are going to have to stream this thing at 6 a.m. To watch a bunch of mobile game trailers. That's going to be annoying for them. But yeah, I don't know. If I were a betting man, I think it would be ZA trailer and then mobile game stuff. And that's pretty much it. I would love to see some more movement on Pokemon Concierge Season 2, and just like some any other kind of multimedia stuff that they're doing. I loved Pokemon Concierge. I thought that show was way better than it had any right to be. Like, it was very like slice of life, like feel good show, like anyone of any age could enjoy, I think, and I just thought it was really excellent. So I'd love to see some more of that. I don't know. I think that the Pokemon on NSO stuff, like, we talk about them adding those games to like Game Boy NSO all the time. I don't think that's gonna happen. For me, I really think that if we do see Pokemon on NSO, it's going to be its own app, like a Pokemon app where they kind of just throw the generations in, and it's probably going to come with a price bump on NSO. I could see that coming as a part of like a souped up version of Nintendo Switch Online that launches with the next system or something like that. I don't know. It just screams to me like there's so many features for the Switch 1 that we've been waiting forever for, that I think they're just holding for the next console that I think was originally supposed to be out by this point, like themes, something beyond the black and white theme for the Switch. I think a Pokemon thing like this makes sense. The Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ports are also things. It's like, why haven't those come out? I think they've just been continually pushing them back to have a good launch lineup for NSO, like at the beginning of the new system. So I think I would kind of expect that to be happening, but I would love to be wrong and finally have that happen. But I am certainly not holding my breath.
I think it's probably, a good thing to just kind of keep your expectations in check with Pokemon Presents. We look at Pokemon Presents through a Nintendo lens, but Pokemon Presents wants you to look at it through Pokemon the brand lens, because it's a multimedia franchise. There's a ton of pillars to it. The one thing I think I'd like to see that we haven't had in a long time is a new animated movie. The last couple in particular I thought were beautiful. Power of Us is a gorgeously animated movie, and right after they started getting good, they just kind of stopped making them. So I'm a little disappointed about that. And I know it's a little early because that announcement was fairly recent, but I'd love if we got a sneak peek at whatever Aardman is doing with Pokemon.
Yeah, right. Totally.
As far as NSO is concerned, I'm not holding my breath. I'd love to be wrong, but maybe we'll get something else like the Pokemon pinball games on NSO, or a localized version of the sequel to the TCG RPG, please.
Yes. Oh my God, I would die. I've played that game like entirely on an emulator. I would happily play that again just so I could play online with my friends, because like trading and battling in the Pokemon TCG Game Boy game is so fun, and the sequel is so much better than the original. Oh man, you just got my hopes up. That's never gonna happen.
Sorry.
Can I add one more thing that I'd love to see happen with Pokemon that seems like Nintendo or Pokemon Company or whoever is just kind of leaving this on the table? Now that Nintendo has gotten way more into live in-person parks experiences, it is very weird to me that there is not really a Pokemon theme park, right? I don't know if that's because it's too big for Universal Studios and it would be very much its own thing. You know, like Japan has a bunch of Pokemon centers everywhere, right? But those are like retail stores. Like I think like a Pokemon theme park would be so cool. I would love to go to that.
It's interesting that you bring this up. I was a Nintendo Power subscriber growing up. And I remember seeing one of the Pokemon theme parks in the magazine. They've existed before.
Really?
But not on the scale of something like what you see in Universal. Like Japan has a lot of pop-up experiences, and I think it's closer to that. But yeah, you're right. It's so weird. Like Pokemon is one of the biggest media franchises on the planet. Why? This is easy money.
Yeah, it's crazy. It'll have to go the way of the abandoned idea for the Mist theme park that was going to be at Disney for a while. I don't know if you guys ever knew that was
Did
going to be a
not
thing.
know about that, but that sounds awesome.
Based on Mist Island. What a different world would be.
It's basically a giant escape room at that point.
Yeah, right.